What's up guys, and welcome to my DMC review. Now DMC, or Devil May Cry, is a reboot of the old DMC series and is one that both new players and old time fans will really enjoy. DMC is a fighting game and you play the role of Dante. Now Dante is the son of Sparda and is a Nephilim, which means he is both a demon and an angel. Now the graphics are the standout thing for me for DMC. It looks absolutely fantastic on the PC, and it does so without using DirectX 11 features or any of that fancy stuff. It shows that if you want to make a good graphically PC game, then it's all about the models and it's about looking the place look good. It's not all about like ambient lighting and stuff. It runs fantastically and with ease on my machine, and anyone that has a modern PC at all is going to have no problems playing this game whatsoever. Cutscenes look fantastic and the gameplay looks even more fantastic. And if you want a game to show off your system, then I would actually recommend this game. But it's not all about the graphics. The game focuses on a really interesting story and one that keeps you entertained the entire way through. The game has likeable characters and equally dislikable characters, and as the game progresses you really do start to have a connection to these characters and you do start to care for them. Each of the characters evolves as you go throughout the game, and they're actually very different at the end than they are at the start. I found myself thoroughly entertained from the game start to the game end. I was not let down by any of the story at all, and I was disappointed when it ended, plainly because it meant that there wasn't going to be any new story. The story will last you for about 10 hours and you can replay it on so many different difficulties, which does give the game quite a longevity, because there are many things to do in a level that you can't actually do until you finish the game and you have all the equipment that you unlock as you progress. The progression system really does work. You gain currency for killing enemies and finding secrets, and you can use these currency to upgrade your abilities, and you have a total of around 10 or 12 different pieces of equipment, which means that when you come to upgrade them, it's going to take you a long time and quite a few levels to replay before you can actually unlock everything. There are loads of different moves for Dante to unlock, ranging from like the standard XXX attack to some fairly complicated stuff, similar to how Super Street Fighter works, but of course not quite as complicated. The main sorts of gameplay that you have are the classic combat, which is really satisfying, and the traversal is also just as satisfying. You have two different sorts of grapple, and it means that getting around isn't necessarily straightforward, but 9 times out of 10 you'll be able to do what you want no problem, and it involves a bit of looking around, and it is actually quite a nice bit of innovation that DMC is providing, besides classic, sort of climbing and jumping that you get from games such as Uncharted, Tomb Raider and any other adventure games. While the graphics are great, it's also the sound that really brings the world together and makes it really lifelike. There are different sounds depending on each weapon, and each enemy will have different sounds that will act as audio cues that will let you know what their plans are and how they're going to attack. This helps the gameplay, but also helps your immersion in the game, and it looks really fantastic. 5.1 channel sound is as standard and is supported, and the sounds are varied, and there are plenty of options if you want to adjust the sound. Not as many as I'd like, but you've got the subtitles on and off switch, which is the main thing. Now the PC version on the whole is pretty good. The graphics are a lot better, runs very well at 1080p at 60 frames per second, but it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. The main thing that does bring it down are the menus. Now, the menus are designed for a controller, but you can't use a mouse at all, which means that if you want to use a mouse and keyboard, you have to use the arrow keys to scroll through all these menus, and it's very slow and painful compared to any other game that you can use a mouse in the menus, so it's quite frustrating. But controllers are supported, and it's the easiest way to play the game. I started using the mouse for the first couple of missions, but once I discovered the controller, it was a lot easier. One of the bugs that I did find with the game is that in order to be able to use a controller, you have to have the controller plugged in before you start the game. Because if you plug the controller in whilst you're in the game, then for some reason the Y-axis will be permanently on up. So you will not be able to play the game because you will not be able to change the camera view because the camera view is straight up. but this doesn't detract from the game, and if you want to do some of the advanced things like 3D vision, then it's rated good, but no DX11 features are present however, and there are suitable video options ranging from low to ultra, so you should be fine. The collectibles that you have are keys and lost souls. You see here that I have got a key, and that means that I can do one of these special missions that have special criteria, and that you have to do this in the allotted time, and then you'll get like a star which will increase your health if you get enough of them. The main thing about the game is that it's just so much fun to play, and the story is so good, and the graphics are so good. As for lifespan, it will last you about 10 hours to actually finish the game, but there are about 6 or 7 different difficulties that you can unlock, and the game is the sort that you will want to keep replaying. It is no surprise then that the game managed to score a 90 out of 100 and is highly recommended, and that whether you've played DMC before or like me you've never touched it before, I think you're going to have a lot of fun, and if you weren't thinking about buying this, I would really advise you to check it out because it is a fantastic game and I'm very happy that I have it. Thank you for watching my review, I hope it's been informative and I will see you next time.